Today we are at the Goodfellas diner. Now I was going to do a little cryptic "where do you think we are" type message, and normally, as you know, I do a voiceover nowadays, but I'm so excited about today that I want to film it live and then give my reactions as we go. The diner here opened in the 1960s, and it was originally called the Clinton Diner. Why it was called the Clinton Diner, we'll find out in the second half of the video. At this diner, they're filmed over 100 different movies, TV shows, commercials, music videos, you name it. I'm going to leave a link in the description for a partial list of all the films that have been filmed here. Now I say it's a partial list. Did you see that lightning there? Wasn't that wild? I'll leave a partial list because on the partial list they don't even list Goodfellas. I'm trying to get this done as quick as I can because obviously there's a storm coming in. Now there were two scenes filmed here. In fact, the last film that was filmed here, to my knowledge, was The Irishman, also starring Robert De Niro. 2 years ago, the diner had a fire in the kitchen, and this is what's left of it right now. It was completely gutted. Now, whether they're going to reopen it or not, I don't know. And if not, then I guess this might be the last video from here. So anyway, there were two famous scenes filmed here at the Clinton Diner, which was renamed the Goodfellas Diner only a few years ago. It wasn't too long ago that they renamed it. The funny part is, obviously with copyrights and what have you, it might be a bit dodgy to rename something the Goodfellas Diner. But when you bear in mind that Martin Scorsese actually used to bring his family here for lunch, they can probably get away with calling it the Goodfellas Diner. So right now I've got a tripod with the camera on top of it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the camera off the tripod, and then we're going to look at the two famous scenes from Goodfellas that were filmed here. Now the first scene that was filmed in this diner from Goodfellas was the scene where Robert De Niro and Ray Liotta are waiting for news that Joe Pesci's character has become a made man. So they were actually sat right at this table right here. I'm not too sure if you can actually see that in there. Unfortunately there's a car here, but that would have been the view from inside with the camera facing out, and you can match that up to the pictures that I'm going to add to this video. So what happens is Ray Liotta and Robert De Niro are sat right here. Robert De Niro leaves the diner through this door and then walks over to a phone box. Now as you can see, there's not a lot of room between the door and the phone box. Now obviously there's no actual phone box here. That was a movie prop. So what happened was Robert De Niro comes out here, and the phone box would have been right about here. And you had a vision where Ray Liotta is looking at him from the window. Now, of course, in the movie, Robert De Niro destroys the phone box, which obviously pushes it into the street here. Then what he actually does, he takes, so the phone box is like right here, and he takes a step back over here. And that, I guess, was to give it a little bit more room for the cameras. And the last scene that you see, obviously you got Robert De Niro crying in the parking lot, was Ray Liotta came down these steps here, and right where this vehicle is parked right now, you see him step on the corner and then head over to where Robert De Niro is. And as you can see, it's only like 2 or 3 steps. So that was the most famous scene here, where Tommy gets whacked and Robert De Niro finds out about it. There was a second scene filmed here, which doesn't get as much publicity as the first one. In fact, you're hard pressed to find it mentioned anywhere. In fact, what I'll do, I'll just film that table as well, just in case it was that table. But I'm pretty sure it was the first one from right here. Now, before I get absolutely soaked, so that was the first scene. There was actually a second scene that was filmed here, but it doesn't get much mention. In fact, before it starts raining and I have to take cover, let me just put the camera in here. And I'm sure you can see there all the pictures from Goodfellas. Showing exactly, in fact, right down the bottom there, what happened. They whacked him. I won't curse. So you can match those up when I post them. So the second scene here, that actually took place on the other side of the diner. And this is completely covered over, so I have to try and remember which one it was. So that's the back of the diner. So this would have been where the extra was sat, so it would have been this window right here. So let me see if I can go on the other side there. And again, try and poke the camera over the top of the vehicle. So it's this window here. I can step on a curb maybe. And that was the angle that they shot the second scene from. Now the second scene that I'm referring to is the one where Ray Liotta and Robert De Niro are sat having breakfast or brunch, and Robert De Niro asks Ray Liotta if he'll go to Florida to whack somebody for him. And Ray Liotta, playing Henry Hill, says that he'd never been asked by Jimmy to whack somebody before, and that he knew if he went to Florida, he wouldn't be coming back. This is where Robert De Niro's character, Jimmy DeGen, started whacking everybody after the heist that they did. And he felt that Henry Hill, played by Ray Liotta, was going to turn government witness on him. Now, a lot of the buildings here, it's 30 years ago the film was made. So a lot of the structure has changed a little bit, but you can still see the deli that was on the corner there. And then you got this yellow building right here, which is right behind the sanitation truck. And that gives you an idea. So The Irishman, that was the last film that was filmed there at the Goodfellas diner. In fact, let me show you the sign right there. They changed it from the Clinton diner. So The Irishman was the last film that I know of that was filmed in this location. Now, why was it called the Clinton Diner originally? Well, now stay tuned. I'm having to shout over trucks. It looks like it might not rain. Not right now anyway, so I might be able to complete this video. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video right now, and then we'll move on to the next location, which will tell you why this was called the Clinton Diner for over 40 years. In fact, over 50 years, because it's been here for 60. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, now I've put all my bits away. Oh, okay, I'm going the wrong way. Look at me. So like I said, the Goodfellas Diner was originally called the Clinton Diner. And now we're going to go and see why it was called the Clinton Diner. Looks like it's about to rain any second. I'm feeling droplets, but we'll live with it. Now this is why it's called the Clinton Diner, because the home of DeWitt Clinton, who was governor, mayor, senator for New York, he lived in this area, obviously from the dates you can see, 1790 to 1828. Now he worked on plans for the for the Erie Canal. Let me just point this direction. His home would have been, that's north right there. And the original origins of Maspeth were just like northeast a little bit from here. Only a few hundred yards on either location. So Governor DeWitt Clinton worked on plans for the Erie Canal at his home here in Maspeth. Now if you're not aware of the Erie Canal, I'm going to leave a link in the description as usual. It's actually well worth a read. The Erie Canal was built in Buffalo, where Lake Erie was. And what they did was they built a canal from Buffalo all the way to Albany in New York to connect with the Hudson River. And that way they could transport goods from the Midwest across the Erie Canal. And this is like in the early 1800s there, before there was transportation. And obviously they were able to then transport goods to and from New York all the way to the Midwest. The Erie Canal was one of the first structures, I guess, is what you can say, that actually built up New York City. Because they were able to transport the goods the way they could, New York City became a big hub. Now the last part on the trip today is right on this corner here. Now ordinarily I wouldn't have come here just to film this, but as I was doing the Goodfellas Diner, then why not? The first store in Maspeth opened right in this area here. Now to give an exact location would be very difficult as to where the store was. But it was right in this general vicinity right here, on the corner of 56 Drive and Rust Street. Beyond, right beyond these trees here, there's an old railway track. In fact, you can see some semblance of the railway track right there. And then there's some industrial buildings, and right beyond that is the Newtown Docks, or what was the Newtown Docks. The only thing that's left there now is Maspeth Creek, and it's literally just a few hundred yards down the road here. Now the first store opened here, it's very hard to put an actual date on it, but there's a listing in 1722, so like 298 years ago, for the proprietor, Nathaniel Hazard. He was listed in the area as a merchant. So that gives you a rough idea as to when the first store opened. Nathaniel Hazard and I believe it's Francis T. White, they opened a store to sell food and clothes for merchants who were traveling back and forth from the docks, from like Long Island to the docks, and then people coming into the docks from the Hudson River. So not much of a bit of a history lesson, but I figured as I was here I'd just as well share it. The first store in Maspeth, Queens opened right on this corner, approximately around 1722. Probably just a little before that. You get a little bit of the New York skyline right there. It's very hard to see with the clouds. That looks like the Empire State Building. Let's see if I can jump in the road here. It's very hard to tell with the fog. It's either the Chrysler Building or the Empire State Building. Yeah, I think it's tough to call. Yeah, if it was clearer, I'm going to take a guess actually that it's the Chrysler Building. because that would be closer, unless I can see another one this side. Anyway, that's the video for today, guys. I only came here to this area literally to shoot this video at the Maspeth diner. As it starts raining, I'm going to leave the camera running in a minute. Now, if you ever want to visit the Maspeth diner, you're going to have a very hard time getting here. There's no train that comes here. And what you have to do is take the Q39 bus in Queens. So you can take the M train to Forest Avenue, and then you can get the Q39 from there. Now, I'm rather fortunate. I live right on the corner of Forest, so the Q39 literally is 50 yards from where I live. Now it's going to absolutely pour down. See what plane that is flying into LaGuardia there. Is that Spirit? Yeah, Spirit Airlines. So that's about to land in LaGuardia Airport there. Alright guys, I'm done, because I'm about to get wet, I think. Let's just finish off another last shot of the Goodfellas diner here. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, of course, please subscribe. You know the drill. Like the video, make it worth my while coming all the way here. Make sure I don't get knocked over. The camera's getting wet, I know, but it looked somewhat interesting, didn't it? Alright, I'm done. Laters.